right, so let's go to the chat. Go ahead and put your titles in the chat. Let's see. Diana said, chai, tea, cocoa, and coffee. What's the title? What could those all be? Okay, we have animal sounds. Bark, buzz, meow, and cluck. Parts of a tree. What are the words that went with the parts of the tree? Okay, we had that other one. We have drink. All right, so let's look at the different categories that we have here. All right, did anyone get dirt, dish, scoop, and the skinny? I know some of those words you might not get, but this is something similar that you can do with vocabulary words in your classroom. You can post the words, you can start off small and then have the words to grow by different combinations and see if the kids can categorize those words by the concept. So this is something that you all can have an extension for math in the classroom as well. All right, so why are we having this session? What is the purpose? Can I have someone to read this out loud, please? Well, actually, everyone unmute yourself. We're going to read this together. When I get to the word that is in bold, when I get to the word that's in bold, then you all are going to read, okay? So I'm going to start with the words that are unbolded, and when we get to like representing, you all say that. So when students are consistently engaged in
representing,
discussing and making connections among
mathematical ideas in multiple forms,
they demonstrate
deeper understanding,
and greater ability to reason and problem solve. This was taken from one of our Eureka Math resources. What does this resonate? How does this resonate with you all?
Deeper understanding for the students, yes.
Yes, okay, deeper understanding for the students. It also reminds me of whenever we're working with something, the students have to make a real life connection or some kind of connection to another math concept for them. So thank you for sharing. The sign-in sheet will be available at the end of the session with the survey. So here is our agenda and our learning objectives. All right, so can we have a participant to read objective 1?
I am learning about the story of units for the module overviews in quarter 2.
How many of you have already started with your module overviews on your campus? Some of you have probably already started. You will be working on that this week. Well, I'm so glad you're here because we are going to look at the modules. Some of you have 1 module for the next term, and some of you have 2. So the second portion, I am learning how to utilize the manipulatives necessary to develop student skills from concrete to abstract and engagement strategies within what? Quarter 2. So I love the second portion because you all are really going to get involved in what does it look like to have those concrete manipulatives in the classroom and how are students going to be engaged. So at the end of the session, you all will be able to successfully identify and execute what our learning objectives were. You'll be able to summarize what you're going to do in quarter 2, and you'll be able to utilize those manipulatives. All right. So let's talk about our resources that we're going to use for today. Now, for this next portion, you are going to need a separate browser or tab so that you can pull up the quarter 2 resource page. On this page, we'll be using it throughout the session in order for you to get to some of the links that we have available. So if you all could go ahead, you can use the QR code that we have at the bottom of the screen. The bit.ly here, I will also add that into the chat. And give you all a few minutes to bring that up. joining with the rest of the team, we'll make sure you have access to the link. Michael wants to keep playing with us today. All right, so let's look at the tiered resources. How many of you are familiar with the resource that we have for math? If you could put it in the chat. Let's see if you all know what our tier 2 and 3 resource is for math instruction. This is a safe zone, so if you're not sure, just take a guess. Starts with an I. It's for reading and math.
iReady?
That's it. It is iReady.
Is there iReady in Spanish for first graders?
I'm not sure. Is your class a mixed age group?
Well, sorry, for kinder. I meant kinder.
Okay, for kinder. I'm not sure. It should be, since we have that as a resource, because they do have different languages in the program. You'll probably just have to set it.
I found the Spanish, but couldn't really find the.
You found the English and not the Spanish?
Well, I found the reading in Spanish, but I didn't find the Spanish in math.
Okay, we'll look at that later, and I'll see, because you should be able, you might have to just turn on that resource or click to the next
Oh,
language.
great.
So thank you, Arlene. Okay, so we will have the curriculum resources for the tier 1. We all know that is going to be Eureka Math. So for the tier 2 and 3 instruction, I will share these links in the chat as well, but you'll be able to pull up those resources. We also have Elevation. Now, if you go to Curriculum Central, Elevation has been made available on there as well for you all to use as a resource. So some of you had already said it. Yes, iReady is our resource. It is for kinder through 8th grade. All right. So here are some additional resources you can use to scan me. There will be elevation engagement strategies for each quarter. There are 4 of them that are available for this term. And then there will be 4 new ones. So thank you for adding that link in the chat. So I really appreciate you all helping out there. Also, the links for the engagement strategies are on your resource page. All right, so let's go to Curriculum Central. As you notice, as soon as you get to Curriculum Central at the top, you will see the elevation playlist. Those are the engagement strategies I was just telling you about. When you come over to the Curriculum Central, you will see this scale. I want to show you all some additional resources that are here for you for your grade level. So let's go to K-2. Let us know if you're a new teacher in the chat. And we're going to open that up. Let us know if you are a new teacher. So since I'm here managing the session, if someone could add the links as we get to it for the people who are not able to readily get to the additional links, I would appreciate that. Okay, so then we'll just go over to Eureka Math for the 2nd quarter, and our links are here. I want to show you some of the features that we've added to the Focus IPCs. So what we've done is on the IPCs, we have the module title there. Everything that is green, those are tested at the end of module. This takes us to a document for TEKS resource that explains the SE for us. We have our LO and the SE. This is a new feature that we have that we definitely want to highlight. We've noticed that as we've been going into some of the classrooms, we have the manipulatives there, but we want to make sure that in every component of the lesson, we are using the manipulatives that are at hand. So what we've done is we've identified either the first time that the manipulative is used or the greatest opportunity for us there. Okay. This does it to me. Let's see.
I'm sorry. Could you please provide the attendance link? I had problem logging in with the Zoom meeting?
It
Me
will
too.
be it will be at the end when you all are filling out the survey.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, on this lesson here, this lesson, we have our, okay. It will take you all directly to the link because I'm one of the owners. It takes me to elsewhere. So at the top here, it says materials. We want you to really pay attention to the materials that are here. And in the lessons, we have the different opportunities where it's engaged. So when you click on those links, this is one of the first opportunities where the students are having to turn and talk. Now, since we have the new elevation strategies, you all will be able to use those as well. So you can kind of switch out with the turn and talk, the partner activities, or use some of the elevation. In the concept development, we're definitely highlighting those. So what will we need for this lesson? Anyone?
Place value chart.
The place value chart is unlabeled here, and also the place value disc. So we want you to be mindful of using those separate resources that are in your toolkits. If you do not have the toolkits, please have one of your admin to go ahead and make a request so that you can get those onto your campus. Another feature that we want to highlight is the quarterly calendar. And the quarterly calendar has a link here. The link also takes you to that week. But be mindful, we are making updates to those. So if you see that, or if you just want to be able to use this. Now, today we're going to add an extra feature for you to assist you with your planning. So we will get to that momentarily. Are there any questions of the items that are on the IPC or how to read it? All right, I think we'll be rocking and rolling with that. Okay, so let's just look at this quarter. This is for second grade. What do you notice is going to be taught? Which modules will be taught in this quarter, just from looking here? You can call it out or put it in the chat.
Module 3.
Module 3. Now, some of you will have different modules. What we would like for you all to do is to go to your resource page. And you have, let's go to the resource page here. Okay, so this is the resource. So this is what the resource page. We would like for you all to go to your calendar for your grade level and look at which modules will be covered in this term. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the breakout room. Or you all know, let's just leave you all here right now. Let's just look at which modules are going to be covered. So click on your grade level and go through your calendar. And let's just give you all some time to look at that and tell us which modules are going to be covered. Okay, once you gather that, I am going to put the breakout room link. Actually, the breakout room link is, we're going to go ahead and open that so you can go to your Jamboard. So here is where your Jamboards are. And then you're going to go to your breakout room. I want you to tell us, what do you notice is covered in your modules? What's covered in your grade level modules? So the breakout rooms are organized by KA, KB, 1A, 1B, and you just assign yourself to one of the rooms. Let me make sure that they are open. Okay. Does everyone have the link for the Jamboard, have it accessible? And then here are the links for your quarter 2. Just look at the concepts that are covered in your modules. We'll give you all a few minutes to go to the breakout rooms. Try to even out the breakout rooms. We make the breakout rooms so that you're able to select the grade level. Some of you have mixed grade levels, so just go to your appropriate grade level. I can put the Jamboard link in the chat as well. Are there any questions about what you all are supposed to be doing in your breakout rooms?
Well, I'm not in my breakout room because I couldn't log in my computers, both of
Okay.
here, and I'm on the cell phone, and I see everything so little tiny here, trying to
No,
follow
it's
you.
okay. Just go ahead. You can stay here since you're not able to break out. But if you can, go to your breakout room.
What I'm
Those of
doing
you who
is
have
like I have
access.
the resources in front of me in the computer. That because you type the bit.ly, I was able to get there, but I cannot get through the other way on Zoom for some weird reason. I did Zoom in the morning, but it's not taking this one.
Okay.
So
Well,
I don't want to log out for some click that I'm doing here.
we will place the link in the.
If it's a bit.ly, I appreciate it a lot because if not, I don't like. I'm trying to read every little thing here.
Okay.
Just in case, my name is Maria Huarcaya.
I will share that in the chat.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to log in while you are speaking, but kind of multitasking here.
It's no problem. We'll get you situated.
Thank you so much. It's not that I don't want you.
So thank you. I see that someone has put the link in the chat. The Jamboard is not opening. I see people on it. Just make a note of what's covered, Oscar, if you're not able to get to it. Just make if you're able to go to the breakout room, someone can project it from the breakout room. So if you're not able to open it, it's okay. Someone can just share their screen. Let's stop Michael Jackson for a second. Okay, so who's going to represent Kinder? Who's going to start us off with the Kinder?
I'll
and
just-
start. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I just wanted to make a comment, and I'm sorry, I'm just walking in the door from a funeral, and I didn't realize we had to be on today. But my concern is, so if you're out, like I was out today, I did not leave sub plans. I know we have module 2 coming up. I'm on the pacing that is in the WAG, you know, but like when I go back tomorrow, am I supposed to kind of do tomorrow's lesson and today's lesson, or am I just supposed to continue on with tomorrow's lesson?
Well, when you're out, we're hoping that something is caught up, but what you can do if there's similar topics, you can combine the two. And what we have done is it's on the IPC is we allotted days, extra
Pause
days when you
days,
have
right.
the end of module.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry. So those days have not been planned with anything. And if you didn't use all your map days, you'll probably still be on target.
Okay. Sorry, I know we were looking ahead. We know we have module 2 coming up. And some of us were talking about we're not on the exact pacing. Some of us are behind. And so how does that play with the district's WAG? Like, are they really wanting us to be on the exact same lesson, or can we be a day or two behind, or?
Well, we do a lot for those inopportune times. So if
Okay.
someone's absent or there's an assembly, we
Right.
have combined some lessons. So if during the course of teaching, you see that some lessons have the same objective or title, you can do that. And you can minimize your fluency, the time frame with that, if that helps.
Okay.
Does that help with every grade level, as you were noticing the pacing? Some of the titles could be the same and some could be different. So you want to consider that. If they are similar, then you can combine some of them.
And
Okay.
can I ask one more question?
Yes.
In the components, for kindergarten, it's basically you have a homework, you know, every single night. And that's not in the past how we have done kinder. Like we've had 2 days of math and 2 days of reading. So if we're not sending home math, I mean, is the expectation that we have to send the math homework home every night, or can we work it in as practice throughout?
That is up to your campus.
Okay.
We did not purchase the Succeed book because not every campus does homework the same way. So that will be varying depending on your campus for that.
Oh, okay. So the Succeed book that we got is not school-wide, I mean, district-wide?
Correct. If you
Okay.
did get a book, it's because you probably had some extra if you were a pilot campus.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. So first grade, what are you all covering? Let's start. How many modules are you covering? Do you know?
2 and 3.
You're covering 2 modules, module 2 and module 3. All right. Second grade, thank you. Which modules are you covering? What is the topic for second grade? It's on the screen too to help you out.
Yes, we are going to cover module 3 and module 4. And in module 4, I can see right now it's about addition and subtraction within 200 word problems, 200. So basically they will learn about composing tens and hundreds, and they will learn, then later on, they will learn about decomposing tens and hundreds. And in module 3, they will compare numbers. That's what I remember. Use different strategies to compare numbers.
Yes, and there are definitely some tools that you all are going to be using in your module 2, the place value discs. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to make a list of those tools and resources that you need to prepare for. So we have our example here of module 2. hopefully when you all get back to your breakout rooms, you will be able to go over your modules. We had a few people who were not able to do the breakout rooms, but we want to encourage you to go to the links, and we will put the links in the chat so that you're able to participate with the next activity that we'll have. So we have what Kinder is going to be covering. You're going to be working with 2 and 3 dimensional shapes. That's so exciting. So you know that you'll be able to work with identifying those shapes around the classroom and working with activities with those shapes. First grade, yours will be pretty aggressive because on the first quarter, you only had 1 module and you're just getting ready to assess it. So now you'll get to make up for some lost time there. Okay, we've already had our breakout and our share. All right, so on your breakout, on your resource page, there's also a link in the middle column. Let me go to it so I can tell you all where it is. In the center here, we're going to look at this first lesson here, but go to the second link. That's going to be you all's work mat. It's going to allow you to make a copy of that. And Shannon's going to put that link for us in the chat as well. Everyone's going to open up their own page. So this is just an excerpt of what we want our students to be able to work with. Our students need to be able to use the concrete manipulatives, just as we mentioned when we looked at the IPC. These are must-dos. So these are strategies, concrete strategies to make sure our students are not only just getting the abstract, just the understanding, but they're actually taking those tools out and utilizing those tools. So in this lesson here, there's some concrete portions where they may have their whiteboard or a template. So we're just going to go to the concept development portion here, and it tells us what materials we're going to have to use. So when you are opening up that sheet of where it's going to be your work mat, that is the work mat where it doesn't have the title link on there. Also want to bring to your attention, how many of you have read these boxes where it has the modifications or engagement strategies there? How many of you have utilized those? Ms. Pastille, tell us how you've used those in your planning. Is it Taislin?
Yes, it's Teslin. And so while we are annotating and rehearsing during PLCs, we use those to basically annotate the lesson. So if there's questions that we have or ways to where we don't really know how to make them understand, like for our tier 2 babies, we use those to see other ways to engage them in the lesson. So we kind of swap out.
Oh, thank you so much. You've hit it right on the nose. So this is just for all learners, but specifically if there's a tool that is not mentioned in this concrete portion here, it may be mentioned in the universal design for all learners here. So also it has the different scaffolds there. So we want to make mention, just as Ms. Pastille mentioned, when they're doing their lesson planning, they're really noticing what tools and resources they're going to have to use there. So this is just an example of how you all could utilize your lesson. We were in some classes today and throughout last week where you all have been making copies of these or having them on the computer, and the kids are able to manipulate the tools. But for these, you're going to have to use the concrete tools that we have here. These are the place value discs, but you only need 2 of them. And it gives you a suggestion that is in this UDL of how they could utilize the 100 frame, the counting from 1 to 100. So the number grid needs to be posted somewhere. We were in a couple of classrooms where teachers had them on the desk. So using these different tools will be helpful when the students are working on this activity. So when you get to this lesson in 2nd grade, here are the tools that everybody needs. But in this green UDL box, it says, oh, what you might consider if your students have had problems with previous lessons or some skills similar to this, you might want to get out the 100 frame, okay? So we want you to make sure that you are utilizing these different resources. So thank you. Is there anyone else that's been using those when planning? Like you've had to get additional resources out? because it's been mentioned in the UDL boxes? Okay, I see some nods and some ahas, yes. So here is a tool that we're going to be working on to help you prepare for tomorrow. Just as Mr. Brown stated. So we're going to look at the manipulatives. Remember, on your manipulatives kits, there are some resources that you're going to have the students to bring or plan ahead of time. I know when third grade was working with an activity with beans, and I know first grade you all were working with some beans too. That took some planning. So we're going to look at the resources per lesson that you all are going to have to plan for, in addition to what we're doing that's already in the book. So if you could, we've created a new document for you all to help with planning. So if you could go back to your quarter page here in this green portion where it says materials list, and it's a calendar, go ahead and click on that. I'm going to click on second grade. What we're going to do in your breakout rooms for a few minutes, and this is just to get you started, and what we'll do is compile everyone's resources. And this is additional tool that we'll provide for you all for planning. So in the concrete development where I showed you what the materials were, those are resources that you can utilize to put, if we're working with module 3, lesson 16, these are the different tools that I need to have ready. I need to have place value this because I've looked at the lesson and that's what I need to get. So that's what you all are going to do. You're going to write down what are the tools that I need to get and have ready in advance that are in the lesson. So you all are going to help all the teachers across the district, and we're going to go back and add to it as well. But you all are going to get started. So when you're starting your planning for quarter 2, you won't have to look through every single lesson, and we're going to show you a resource to help you with that. So you're going to do a concrete and manipulative search with your grade levels, and then we'll look through that finally. I want to show you this as well, because I want you to use it in conjunction with your planning. So there is a link that Shan will share. It is from the Great Minds Resource Center, and we're going to go to it as well. It is also on your quarterly resource page. So we have that link there. And here are the materials by topic. It's going to take us to the website. Now, when you go to the website, you'll scroll down in the center. So there are 2 ways that you can get your resources. You can actually go to the lesson, and then you can go to the materials list here. So it's towards the middle of the website, and I'm going to go to second grade. How many of you have been to this website and used this tool here? Okay, Ms. Wakwa, is that how you say your name?
Huarcaya?
Wakaya, tell us how you've used this.
No, I'm saying no. This is the first time I'm
Oh,
looking
no.
at this.
Okay.
Sorry.
So what you do
I wish
is,
I knew it before.
so once you go to the website, you will be able to scroll through, and it's organized by module. Okay, the module, that's the mid module. Let's see here. EF. Okay, here we go. Like this is module 5. So you'll go through according to whatever module you're going to be teaching. Here are the materials you need to have for the students. And here are the materials for that you're going to be using as a teacher. So what we want for you to do is to go through and have both of those documents. So you'll be working in your teams. So maybe someone can have the document posted and another person can be recording. But what you're going to do, if you are in KA, you're going to work through week 9 through 12. Any of the A's, KA, 1A, and 2A. You're going to work through those weeks and find the materials for those lessons. If you're in B, you're going to do 13 through 18. KB, 1B, 2B. You're going to look at those. So you're going to have this tool up from the website, or you can actually just go to the lesson that you have available. So you're going to have this document up, and you're just going to start filling it in for your grade level. You'll just start typing what you have available. And remember, it's already hyperlinked in the first column. Are there any questions? Anna, can you tell us what you're going to do for this activity? Anna Bach.
Yes, we're gonna go through the Great Minds website and we're gonna see what materials they say we have to use. I only listen to the A because I'm A, but the A classrooms are gonna do week 9 through 12.
That's it. Okay, if you have any questions, you can let us know. You can unmute yourself. We're going to make sure that the breakout rooms are open again. And then you're going to go to the same breakout rooms. If you weren't able to get to one, just find one. But please collaborate with one another and we'll be able to check in on you all.
Yeah,
so if you have any questions, just let us know.
I have a question. You
Yes.
said we have 2B has to do with from 13 to 18. You are talking about the lessons or
the resources
weeks, for those weeks or
yes.
Okay. Got it.
For those weeks.
Okay,
so the lessons are already there. You're just typing in what we need.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
To help you out with your planning. Okay, have a good one. We'll see you in a moment. Give you about 8 minutes to get started with that.
Could I talk about kinder program and Eureka Math? Oh,
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said, can kinder teachers talk about Eureka Math program for the next few weeks of second 9 week, or I just wanted to share what we will be teaching. It's going to be about 2D and 3D shapes, comparing the length of the size, and so overall, just a quick discussion.
Were you all able to get anything on your calendar?
Yes, I am looking at my calendar and I see that. And also, we were attending a Eureka training in person at George Bush Elementary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had your trainings with the Eureka coaches.
Correct.
So as I can see, it sounds like as I went to some of the rooms that you all were still looking for the information to put on your chart. I just want to know, how useful would this be for you all in your planning as we get ready to close up this session?
I think it's useful. It's familiar to what we were discussing about in our last week's training. And plus, I could see the 9 weeks calendar, which help us a lot to plan ahead or get familiar to it more. So thank you for giving me the chance.
Okay, you're welcome. How can this resource be helpful for you all with your upcoming planning? Just one person, if you can share with us. Emily or Noel? Noel Rubio. Tell us how that resource could be helpful as you plan for your upcoming lessons. This page.
Yeah, they help me because we know exactly what we need to looking for, exactly what we need to teach. For me, it's perfect. Voilà.
Okay, so thank you. You'll know which resources to get out and know what to teach in a timely fashion. So I noticed that some of you were still gathering your thoughts for that. That resource is for you to use, so you'll be able to have it during your planning session and for the upcoming weeks. And so both of those resources also has items that you can give to the students to take home. So if you said that you need lima beans because one side has to be white and the other side has to be painted pink or red, then you can use this tips form that you could send home to the parents. It shows them the different strategies that are going to be covered and what resources are needed. So it's on the same website as the resources that you'll need for your lessons, for your modules. Again, those are the elevation strategies. We want you all to be definitely familiar with those. And again, you can find them on Curriculum Central. How can the work that we were doing today or using some of the resources help you for your work for quarter 2?